If you see a little smoke coming out of there, that's the WD-40 burning off the brushes. So, does spraying WD-40 inside your motor actually help it any? So, does spraying WD-40 inside your motor actually help it any? Yes. Yes, it does. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I have done my own personal testing on, as you can see, many brushed motors, and it helps. Now, if you're going to do stuff like this, then your motor's going to die eventually anyway. But this will keep it alive a lot longer. Point and example, this Holmes Hobbies Trailmaster Sport 550/21 turn is, I want to say, at least a year old. It was in my Jeep Gladiator, the truck you just seen, and I have beat the living snot out of this thing. I haven't cleaned it ever, which I'm about to show you just how dirty this thing is, but anytime I go in the mud or anything like that, you still see a little bit. There's a little bit of lithium grease on the outside, but I literally take the can, spray it right in there in the fins. Just right in there while it's running. I mean, don't just stab it in there. That's not good for it. But just hold it about there and get as much as you can in there. Get the whole thing soaked. You can spray it in here if you can reach those fins in there. But just all over. The bearing out here, all of it. If you're going to go in silty water, if you're going to go in mud and things like that, this can only help. Okay? So this is how I make so many mud videos. Now, granted, I have burnt up a lot of motors. That's a lot of motors right there. That I have burnt up that and then some, because I didn't save every single motor I burnt up. But that's in the course of about 3 years worth of motors, which honestly isn't bad considering how many trucks I go mudding with. Now, I will say, sorry Traxxas, but these 550 Titans, they're not the best. Okay? Don't waste your money on that. If you're going mudding and doing stuff like what I do, don't waste your money. Okay? If you're gonna go mudding and you're gonna go through silty water and whatnot, this is the motor to do it with. Okay? It's cheap, it's resilient. Holmes Hobbies makes a good cheap motor. Now this one isn't even technically, well, I have to buy a new armature for this one. This is a little fancier. It's a rebuildable, what is this one? Torque Master. Yeah. I like these. Don't go mudding with these. Okay? These are not for mud. Okay? Because that's a little more of an expensive motor. This is what you want. If you're going mudding and you're not trying to be too careful, and you know, this, I want to say this was what, $16, $17, something like that. Not bad at all. Now, obviously, the best way to go when you're going mudding and things like that is to go brushless. But if you don't have $200 to throw on a motor system and stuff like that, on a brushless setup, this is the way to go. I mean, because I can't even do math right now, but I'm willing to bet maybe, no, honestly, yeah, that's probably one brushless motor, all of those put together. So yes, I could have had one brushless motor, or I could have had all of these in the course of 3 years. So you do the math, you spend the money the way you want to spend the money. Let's find out just how dirty this motor is. I've had it, like I said, for almost a year now, or actually it's probably been more than a year, and I've never cleaned it. If you don't know how to clean a brush motor, got this little nice pretty glass of clean water right here. We're going to dip that in there. If you didn't know, brushless motors are waterproof. Now, nice and clean. We're going to run it nice and slow. Let me speed it up a little bit. There's already quite a bit of stuff flying out of there. This does clean your motor. If you're having troubles with your motor, if it sounds coggy, or if it's just not acting right, like you're losing power or whatnot, try this first before buying a new motor. Look at all that crap. Look at all that stuff floating in there. That was all inside the motor. I'm sure we can get more and more out of it. Especially if I run it at a higher RPM, it'll definitely get it out of there. But it looks like I might make a mess if I do that. Which I am trying to drive and film at the same time, so you know. What we can do, oh, you know what? I bet here's what we can do. We can just set the throttle limit here. Yep, there we go. I don't know how often you should honestly be doing this, because it just depends on what kind of terrain and mud and silt and things you're running in. I do this whenever I start seeing a lack of performance. Take the motor out, give it a nice good dunk in some clean water. Now that we got that sitting in there, and you can run this for a long time in there just to try and clean things out. I wouldn't recommend any type of actual cleaner in there because you want things to stay lubricated. Now, water isn't going to lubricate it necessarily, but I wouldn't recommend spraying any kind of like cleaner or anything through them to try and clean them out. The best thing you can do is clean it with this. If you're going to try and clean it, let me get you guys set up here. Now, does this trick work with brushless motors? I don't know. I've never tried it. We can try it today, though. See what happens. Might just tear up a $175 motor, but we'll see. Let's just stay on task here for a minute. Alright, should be able to see what I got going on. Alright, so let's take WD-40. Whoop. WD-40. And now, just like that. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff coming out of there. WD-40 does not hurt your motor. If it hurt your motor, I would have found out by now because I've been doing this for years. WD-40 just means water displacement. Doesn't hurt the conductivity of anything. Look at all that garbage coming out of there. That's disgusting. Motor's gonna run nice and buttery smooth after this. Ugh. Look at that. It totally changed the color of the water. That water was totally clear. Ugh. Wow, we are doing some serious cleaning now. Alright. See how that quieted down? Look at this. Look, you can just soak the thing. It's not going to hurt it. If you're going in mud, if you're going in silty water and you have a brush motor, I definitely recommend spraying a little WD-40 in there. Definitely won't hurt it. If you have that screech sound after going in water or mud or something like that, 9 times out of 10, it's this bearing right here. Or it's the bearing on the other side. All you got to do, spray a little WD on there. and it will quiet it right down. Does not hurt it one bit. I like to soak them from top to bottom. That's how I keep my motors from seizing in deep silty water. Now, like I said, it is not going to make your motor immune to silt. Silt will destroy your motor over time, but this will definitely keep it alive a lot longer. So that's that little educational part. This seems a little cleaner. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at all that stuff. That came out of there. Gross. Definitely sounding better. Sounds like it's got a little more power now. I just let that run for a little bit to really soak in there. What I'll probably do, go dump that out, get some clean water again, and then do this a number of times until the water stops looking so nasty, and then I'll know I'll have a clean motor again, and then I can put this back in another truck. Alright, now, if I can get you guys to line up over here, let's be done with this. Turn this down. Yep, there we go. If you see a little smoke coming out of there, that's the WD-40 burning off the brushes. That's just from heat. Not a big deal. Now, if your brushes are like going out like really bad, you'll smell it. This smells like burnt WD-40. Can this start a fire? Possibly. So be careful with that, I guess. I've never personally started a fire with it. I've soaked them down and run them full throttle. There we go. All right, we're hitting the power band. Clearing up. Nice. Nice and torqued. Yep. We got torque. Yep, we got torque. Okay, so I'm going to call that done for right now. Let's test the theory of brushless. Can you spray WD-40 in a brushless motor? I don't know. Let's find out. That is such a cool sounding motor. Alright, so, can you spray WD-40 in a brushless motor? I don't know. So let's just find out. Let's turn the throttle up a little bit. If that'll even work, man. There we go. Alright. Got it going. That's about as slow as I can get it to turn right now. This is not a crawler motor. This is like a race motor. So let's just see what happens. Appears to do just fine. Now, from my understanding, brushless motors are more waterproof than brushed motors. So, honestly, can't really hurt. Nope, sounds a little bit quieter. Yep, nope. I don't see this hurting anything. I mean, I can hear liquid sloshing around in there a little bit. Maybe get the bearing in there a little bit. Not increasing in temperature or anything like that. Let's... Torque! We got torque. Did I mention it's a torquey motor? yeah, I think you can spray WD-40 inside of brush motors. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Like I said, this is like the only brush motor I've ever tested this on, just for you guys, and it doesn't appear to have any issues. So I don't know. Do with that information what you will. But like I said, in consensus, if you're gonna go in mud, I mean, pick the right motor, obviously. Pick a cheap motor that you don't really care about, and spray some WD-40 in there. Get a few extra runs out of it, man. It's worth it. All right. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, all that good jazz. I'm cleaning motors today, so I'll catch you on the next one.